doesn't have to be a Porsche 987 like this. It doesn't have to be that. It could be any modern classic, you know. Anything that's coming up to 20 years old now is considered a modern classic, and I believe a vintage classic now is 40 years. Road tax on this car, which is £615 a year just to tax this car. So just consider those costs if you're looking for a second car or one that's a daily user. Personally, this is great as a daily user. It's just perfect for that, and it would double up as a classic car or a classic car as well, you know. So with this one you get the best of both worlds. You're getting what I consider a future classic in the making, one that should hold its residual values very well. It's one of the reasons I bought this car, is because of that. You know, I was fed up of cars depreciating. Some of the cars I've owned in the past have been that depreciated faster than what the lease cost would be. You know, that's something else to consider. So going for something like this would be a sound investment in my opinion. But there's a lot to consider. Obviously, tax is a lot higher. Insurance for some people would be a lot higher. So there's a lot of things to consider, but I can highly recommend buying a modern classic. It doesn't have to be one like this one. It could be any car that's coming up to the 20-year sort of age group. I mean, this one's not that old yet, but if I keep it a few years, it will be. Porsche themselves, the car company, now consider this one a classic car. So then you qualify for all the lower maintaining costs and parts. Actually, you get a discount with that. So there's lots and lots of things to consider. But at the end of the day, if I was looking in the market whether to get a modern classic or a vintage classic, there's one thing that nobody seems to talk about on YouTube that I've seen when we're comparing cars like this. There's lots of videos out there comparing different cars, and the one thing that doesn't come up very often, and that's the safety aspect of owning one of these cars. You see, in the MGB you've got no airbags. There's no real safety features built into it because of the age of the car. You know, this one you're surrounded by airbags. That is probably why, from a safety point of view, you'd probably be better off buying something like this if that's your main concern. The advantages of having the MG is there's just no ULEZ charges. You can go through the Dartmouth Tunnel and the Dartmouth Bridge all day long with no charge in one of these. So there's a lot of advantages to owning a vintage car like this one. No road tax. You don't even have to have your MOT'd. This car has an MOT. Because of safety reasons, I believe in that, but you don't have to. And the appeal of owning one of these cars is, what about a petrol garage, for instance? The petrol garage looks are far greater in this car than the Porsche. So there's a lot of advantages to owning a vintage car that's 40 years plus old, like this one. The insurance is low, and I think they look great on this car. So look, there's a bridge coming up now. Let's just concentrate on this. We're over the Humpback Bridge. So there's a lot of advantages to a vintage car. So those people who are thinking whether to get a modern classic or a vintage classic, I would say get this one first. A good start into classic car ownership over a modern classic, which is going to be obviously more to insure. You're looking at 12-15 grand for something like this. MG's start out, you can get a decent one for 4,000 or 5,000, but it wouldn't be a Mark 1 like this one is. So go out there and do your shopping and look around and see what you can get for your money. Always get the best one. Spend the most you can on a classic or a vintage car, is my advice. Both this one, the MG, and the Porsche have both got stunning service histories. I mean, absolutely every nut and bolt accounted for over the years. That's what gave me confidence to buy this car. And the Porsche, to be fair, both cars are exceptional with their service histories and where the car's been and who's had it in the past. In summary, I would advise anyone who can't make their mind up whether to go for a modern classic or a vintage classic is this. If it's a second car, then obviously the vintage would probably be the better bet. That's the MG. It's going to sit in a garage. Now, if you buy a modern classic and you want to use it as an everyday, well, that's a different matter. I would choose the Porsche, because the Porsche is a more usable, friendly car. Although you won't be going through the Dartmouth tunnel all day, but just for fun and for free. You'll have to pay, and of course you'll have to pay ULEZ as well. London, Birmingham, Manchester, or wherever they're going to bring that. Just remember that. But they're both good fun. You can join clubs and stuff like that, and get involved with the social side with both cars. And whichever car you budget for, the main thing is you have fun. If you found this content useful and you'd like to see more, please like or subscribe. Spend your money wisely, and you go for one that really has been looked after with a great service history.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto London Road, A508.
And I'm going to edit the shit out of this video, I'll tell you. Okay, thanks, that'll do for now.